Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the April 7th, 2026 Winthrop Town Council meeting. It's 6:30 p.m. We're in the Harvey hearing room. Call the meeting to order and ask for a roll call, please.
Councilor Costigan.
Here.
Councilor Tassinari.
Here.
Councilor Millar.
Here.
Councilor Dimes.
Present.
Councilor Romano.
Here.
Councilor Reardon.
Here.
Councilor Finn.
Here.
Vice President Swope. Here. President Lettieri.
Here. So there's a quorum. The meeting is open. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the meeting, and I see the young ladies from the Winthrop softball team, I assume, here. And I might not be sure of everything, but I'm pretty sure that you guys don't want to stay here for a long period of time. So I'm going to try to take you guys out of order, but I'm just waiting. We've asked the Parks and Rec director to come too, so we can explain what's going on. So give us a few minutes, and we'll take you as soon as we can. In the meantime, minutes have been circulated from the March 24th meeting. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Councilor Down, second by Councilor Millar. Any discussion on it? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no, the ayes have it. We have 3 public hearings. The first is that the town appropriate retained earnings in Waterway Harbor Master Enterprise Fund and repair and maintenance of the floats. I will open the public hearing and ask if anybody would like to be heard in favor of this. Town manager, want to just give a brief overview?
Sure, we've got the repairs and maintenance on the floats down at the marina. And we actually already have the bids out and back, so we know we can honor this price. It's probably gonna be slightly under $40,000. So we're looking to get that work done before the boating season happens.
And anyone here like to be speak against this? Anybody on the council like to be like to speak about this either way? We can close that public hearing. I'd like to open a public hearing for the town council to vote to modify general fund budget in fiscal 26. Hearing is opened. Again, this is just regular yearly switching of funds around depending on where it's needed as we approach the end of the fiscal year, which is June 30th. Anybody want to be spoken? Anybody who would like to speak in favor of this? Anybody in the audience like to speak opposed to this? Any councilors wish to speak?
Councilman,
Yes.
just for this one and the previous motion, just as a reminder, it did come out of Finance Committee with a favorable recommendation, as it's, this one is routine business and the other one is repairs that the town manager would like to get done before the end of the spring, as soon as possible for the boat season. So they both came out with favorable recommendations.
Okay.
And we'll go.
Both of those are no.
Thank you.
All right. We will close that public hearing and let's open another one. Amendment to add new ordinance 8.37.00 land disturbance and erosion control. This is an ordinance that's basically been handed to us from the state that we basically need to comply with. I will open the public hearing and I'll ask the DPW director to speak about it a little bit.
Sure, as you mentioned, it's a mandated ordinance from the state. It's for projects where land disturbance is greater than 1 acre, or if there's multiple smaller projects that are related to each other that would exceed 1 acre of land disturbance, such as a cul-de-sac or something like that. It's for the protection of the town. It's for best stormwater management practices on these projects to protect surface waters, private and public properties. So it's certainly good for the town, and like you said, it is a mandated state.
Anyone from the audience wish to speak in favor of this? Anyone wish to speak opposed to it? Any councilors have any questions of Councilor Swope, Vice President Swope?
I said, no, maybe Kurt has some answers to that, probably you do too. It's not a question of, we're gonna follow this. I just have some questions about it. Is the effective date now? as soon as we
The
vote on
effective
this.
date is as soon as we vote it.
What current plans require stormwater management permit from the town of Public Works? Are there any that we need, that we have in place right now, the demands that we,
Any projects that are
yeah,
underway?
yeah.
So the way it's been being managed, in the past and currently, is that, typically, DPW, reviews, everything goes through site plan review, the bigger projects. Conservation Commission typically has had, the final oversight, and they've been the ones that create the order of conditions for these projects. But it has been a combined effort of DPW, Conservation, Building Department. But there was nothing on the books that spoke to larger projects, and we don't have very many of them, we don't have that much available land for these size projects. But the state wants all municipalities to have this language on there.
So if we put together a plan, then that becomes a bigger plan, right? And in other words, that might be something that we would have to worry about. So if we had more than 1 acre and we had 10 projects that we had combined as a plan for the town, then does the stormwater issue become a bigger issue, or we don't have to worry about it, or what have we got here?
Are you talking for a town project
Yeah.
or any project?
A town project.
All town projects, all of our engineering has, is basically, has the requirements of this stormwater, measures built into the engineering of the projects. This is more directed towards private contractors and private developers, and making sure that, for those projects, that the town has, the proper oversight on those projects. The engineering is out of our control.
Oh, yeah, and they pay for it,
They pay for it.
the private.
Yes,
Private
they have
sector.
to follow the requirements of it, correct.
Okay. And could we pass an audit if somebody came in and looked at our stormwater management system? Could we pass an audit?
What kind of audit? I don't understand what you mean.
Could
by
we-
an audit.
Are we doing what the state says we need to do? And so could we pass an audit if the state came in and actually looked at our stormwater?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Okay.
It's aged, but yeah, I mean, we have everything that's required, and then, all of our outfall pipes are permitted and inspected and tested. So yeah, we're doing everything that the state's requiring.
Great. And so, and this ordinance doesn't affect our buildable land at all? Because we could, are there properties where we could not put a proper stormwater drain on them and therefore we couldn't build them?
No, this particular ordinance, again, is for land disturbance of over an acre.
Okay. Good, thank you so much.
Any other questions?
Seeing none, we will close that public hearing and we'll open public comment. And before I start public comment, I'm going to let those who have to speak in regards to softball, and I can comfortably say there isn't a bigger proponent of girls' sports in this town than myself. And I have a lot of similar issues, but have been discussing them over the past few days. And I'm incredibly happy and appreciative that the DPW director, I just gave you a little bit of the Parks and Rec director, Sean Driscoll, has run down here just to answer some questions as well. So if someone wants to be a speaker, yes, just state your name and that's right.
Good evening. My name is Brianna Rosado. I'm a junior at Winthrop High School and a member of the Winthrop varsity girls softball team. First, I would like to read an email that was sent on Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. As of today, April 7th, we have not received a response from anyone that it was addressed to. After I read this email, I will give you some updates that we were given to us verbally and yet to have been materialized. Dear Town Council President Lettieri, Town Manager Marino, and Superintendent Howard, I am here to bring attention to an issue that has been of growing concern to the WHS girls softball team, the long-promised construction of a dedicated softball field that is yet to materialize. For some time, we were assured that a dedicated softball field would be developed to support our athletes, families, and younger programs. This promise generated excitement and hope, particularly among young players who deserve a safe and appropriate space to practice and compete. Unfortunately, despite the assurances, no meaningful progress has been made, and the project appears to have stalled without clear explanation. The absence of this facility has real consequences. We were scheduled to play our very first home game on the field at Ingleside on Tuesday, March 31st. We were promised that the field would in fact be ready for such game. At the last minute, we had to change venues and not to a local one. We had to play as the home team in Hamilton Wenham. Last season, the girls played on Salucci Field and had to, before every game, along with their coaches, make sure the field was groomed, clean of any debris, and put up a temporary roll-away fence to make sure there was a clear visual of where the outfield should be. And after every game, after the girls competed, sometimes well after it got dark, and the girls had to break down the same fence and store it. I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with these fences, but it is a lot of heavy pieces for them to handle. Today, April 1st, 2026, the girls held their very first practice down at Ingleside, and to say that it was in deplorable condition is an understatement. After their practice, the girls put some effort into cleaning the field in hopes that when the contractors that were supposedly hired to work on the fields come, they did not have to deal with it. What they collected is astounding. We have some pictures that are attached. From our understanding, the Winthrop Foundation gave Parks and Rec and the school department a substantial grant to make this field a home for us. We just want the same opportunity to have a field like the boys do. While Ingleside is not in any way ideal for us, we are willing to accept that there is a place where we can play. There are no locker rooms, no bathrooms. The girls have to find a way to get to the said fields immediately after school to be on time for their practice. They have to change at the school and lug all of their equipment and belongings there. This clearly looks like a Title IX violation in many people's eyes. We respectfully ask for the transparency and accountability. What has caused the delay? Is there a revised timeline? What steps are being taken to ensure this project is completed? The girls deserve honest communication and a renewed commitment to follow through on what was promised. We remain hopeful that this issue will be addressed promptly and that the softball field will become a reality in the near future. Our team has waited patiently and it is time to see action. Respectfully, Winthrop softball parents. Here are some of the verbal updates that we received. On Thursday, April 2nd, we received a phone call from Sean stating that the field, Ingleside, just needed to be regraded and the bases put in. He said that he expected that our coaches and AD would have kept us informed of such happenings, and that the guy who was working on the field would be there over the weekend to do such tasks that never happened. Friday, after our game that we had to play on Little League's A field, our athletic director addressed us and told us that our field, Ingleside, would be ready to play on for our game Monday, April 6, 2026. Yesterday, we hosted Saugus, guess where? Not at Ingleside, but at A field because our field was not touched by anyone. While we do understand that the weather does play a big role in all of this, there has been many opportunities for work to be done on the field before the season started. We were also made aware that the field at Ingleside was being dedicated to Mr. Charles Domenico on Monday. I believe our coach had asked if maybe it could be postponed so that the softball team could attend, and they were told no. This was a huge disappointment to us, seeing that before the boys' first varsity home game, they dedicated their field to former athletic director Mr. James Evans with a whole ceremony. And if memory serves me correctly, one of Mr. Evans' greatest contributions was his leadership in implementing Title IX in 1972. For those of you that do not know what that is, it guarantees equal athletic opportunities for female athletes. I think that if Mr. Evans were still here today, he'd be so very disappointed to see that in 2026 we are still just fighting to have a field to play on. I would invite anyone to go look at the condition of the field at Ingleside. The sod that was laid in November is not adhered and there are giant gaps. It is also not flat and there are giant mounds which makes it unsafe to play on. The backstop was supposedly fixed but is currently peeling up. There was trash and debris all over the playing field that we had to clean up, which we took pictures of. We were also promised dugouts. Every time we have reached out regarding the progress of them, we have gotten no response. We would like to know when the $81,500 grant from the Winthrop Foundation was distributed to Parks and Rec and the school department, and why it's taking so long for there to be clear decisions being made on this project. Last year, we had been promised that we would be able to utilize Salucci Field. Money was given to have the field prepped and repaired for it to be playable for us. Well, that turned out to be a disaster. Work on that field never began until after our season started. We only played a handful of games there. If soccer was playing, we were not allowed to use the softball field. And things that once again were verbally promised never happened. Our coach graciously put in $3,000 of her own money to have dugouts constructed to shelter us from any elements the season threw at us. Now we are told that Salucci is slated for JV boys because we took their field at Ingleside. Meanwhile, our JV girls play on C field, which is a T-ball field. All we want is to not be rushed off a field or told no, we cannot play there because another team is using that field. A field, where we currently have been playing and practicing, is meant and prepared for Little League baseball. We are constantly pushed off by boys coming onto the field and into the dugouts before we are even done with our practice. JV has to be off their field by 4:15 every baseball game day, cutting their practices short. And as far as Salucci, the backup fields we never get to use, and we never get to use it because of soccer. For those of you that have daughters that may play other sports, how would you feel if maybe they did not have a court, a rink, or field to play on? I could go on about all the verbal promises that have been made and never gone through with, but I would probably be here all night, consuming your time. I started this journey my freshman year with a petition that had well over 250 signatures to get us a regulation-sized softball field. I've stood in front of department heads with a presentation with data on why this town needs a softball field for us. And here I am, my junior year, still asking that this town does the right thing and makes our field a reality. We are simply just asking for transparency and action on this matter and not finger pointing and blame.
First of all, and I am gonna respond to this public comment, because I know public comment is usually just given to us and we take it, but this is a different matter. And first of all, I just wanna thank you for so eloquently and articulately stating truth, right? I 100% from the beginning thought that is where that the girls should have a dedicated field for themselves. Playing on a softball, on a little league field is not ideal. Let alone it's not a grass field, the mound is different, there's a lot of differences there. It's nice in a lot of ways, it's enclosed, you have a wall out in the outfield. It's got some pluses, benches and such, but it's not ideal, and I 100% believe that you girls deserve much better than that. And I think this field is going to be. I did receive your email. I did not reply because I did reply to. I did have conversations with other people because it was disappointing to me, and I live right across the street there. I do think, and I really appreciate Sean coming down and hopefully can explain a lot of these situations, but you girls deserve a field. You girls, I'm not demeaning girls, women, but you deserve a very nice place to play, as do every other kid in town for whatever sport they happen to be playing. I will do everything I can to make sure that this is quickly done and giving you girls the time. I mean, spring sports just goes by so quick, and weather plays, especially in outdoor sport, weather plays such a dramatic role, and nobody wants to play home games at away fields, and it just stinks. Parents really want to see the kids play, and they deserve to have a nice place to play. So with that, I'm going to turn it to the town manager if you have anything, and then to Sean. If you have anything.
I'll pass it. Sean and I talked about it. I'll give it
Sean, if you
Does
have
anyone else wanna
anything.
speak first? Anyone else wanna speak first? I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think you should just respond, give us an
Well,
update
let
on
me
where
go
we
back to
are.
the history of
Yep.
girls softball, since I've been here for 27 years and also was part of Little League for a little bit of time. The girls softball program at the high school always played their games at the Little League field. For about 15 or 20 years, and not always, it never really worked out at times, but some Little League years it worked out good, some years it didn't, because of conflict between people. So with that said, we got through it. We brought it to the school under the past AD and the AD before that the girls should be playing their home games at Salucci Field. Now the rule in town is this, when it comes to playing fields and reserving them. The school stuff comes first, for two reasons. One, they have a deadline they have to finish their season by, especially in the spring where the weather's horrendous, okay? They have first right to everything. A field, Salucci Field, Ingleside, wherever they want, they get it. Okay? That's just the rule. And it's like that in most towns. Okay? So we always said you should play your home games at Slucci Field. We had the adult league down there. We had some youth programs down there in the past over the summer, some summer camps, but none of them ever wanted to play there. So now we have a new coaching staff, new AD, and I think we met probably last winter with Mark DiGregorio, the AD, when he first became the AD, and Tony was, let's make this happen. We were fortunate enough to be able to put a grant in for the foundation, got rewarded. We said the best spot is Ingleside Park. And one of the things that was good about Ingleside Park was it was kind of underused for maybe 8 or 9 JV baseball games a year. From what I understand, at Little League level, the girls softball program, who I met with last Saturday, Kelly, they're expanding. They have a lot of groups and a lot of teams, so it's going to be used by them in the summer and the school during the spring season. And any other tournaments they want to do or any summer leagues or whatever. I said, it's a perfect spot. And 2 reasons why it was a perfect spot. It is in the center of town. It's not near the school, unfortunately. You do have to bring your stuff to the field. But one of the options was, we have a hockey rink that's attached to the old middle school gym that's still there. The girls could use the hockey locker room as a locker room to put their stuff. And arrange for some bathroom facilities through the rink. That was discussed. One of the things. I said that would be a great spot. Also, storage there for rakes, shovels, and everything else is not adequate now, but we could have put it in the old middle school for now until we could possibly build something, which we also talked about. So now, let's get to this year. We start the field, I want to say it was probably November for availability, pricing. You know, we had DPW go in, we had to take out a lot of material from the 90-foot diamond, which is baseball diamond, technically. With the help of Steve and his guys, they came in, did it, trucked all the stuff out of there, got it ready to go, and then we went shopping for a vendor, who could do it, who had the good references, who did work in the town before, and we got it going, okay? So, in December, it probably ended the work, and he goes, I gotta come back, I gotta regrade a little bit, I gotta put your anchors in, and I gotta do some more work on the saw a little bit, but the stuff will still take, and it will still be ready to go once you start the season. Well, if any parks person will tell you that does anything with fields or recreation or outdoor activities, a lot of things have been canceled, not even having. A lot of communities switched. For a perfect example, yesterday, the boys' baseball team couldn't play at Saugus. Saugus had to come here. That's just one example.
Canceling a
Cancel the
JV
girls'
game.
JV game.
Canceled the
Well,
girls' game.
that's a school
with
thing,
that.
that's a school
Right,
schedule
but a
thing,
girls'
not
game
a
got canceled
recreation
because of
thing.
that.
So with that said, now we can't get the guy back, because if anyone knows anything about Ingleside Park, it floods. It's bad shape when it rains all the time. It's a mud pit.
That's a perfect place to put the girls.
Can we just let him speak, please?
So he could not come back, because he can't bring tractors and stuff on the field, or it will be damaged even more. Like the first time we did it, as you can see some repair spots because they sunk in. So I said, you can't come back until it's dry, and he agreed. He goes, it's the safest way to do it. Now, if you look at the weather forecast, next couple of days, it's better. He is scheduled to come back here Thursday to finish what he has to finish and hope be ready to go. But with that said, if it rains Wednesday night, which I hope it doesn't, and there's puddles there, he cannot drive and do what he has to do to get on that field. And that's what's been said to a lot of people. My communication with the athletic director has been the same the whole time. I want everyone playing there. I've been telling them what the issues are, but it doesn't seem to register with people that you can't finish due to the conditions that are there now. And the conditions weren't made by the contractor, he's just not done yet. That's it, hopefully Thursday's done and you can start resuming your games. But I will say, between the town manager, Steve Calla, myself, and everyone else, that's put a lot of effort and time into this, and the Winthrop Foundation. It will be done, it will look nice when it's done, but it can't be done until you can get back on the field. And also, to keep in mind, there are 2 places to play softball. And again, the young lady brought up youth soccer. Youth soccer uses most of that field down there for practices and games. And it's been like that for a million years. But we've always made it work. Marty O'Brien is the president of youth soccer. He's a great person, helps me out with everything I need. You were scheduled to play there Monday. Mark and the school personnel could not get the field ready to play. Parks and Recreation does not have a field staff. Parks and Recreation does not have a budget for a field staff. Okay? So a lot of these individuals, like Little League for years, soccer, they take care of their own area. Okay? And it saves the town a ton of money. And we all kind of work together. Yeah, there's some hiccups in the road. But I will say this, that they had the opportunity for years to play at Salucci, always got pushed aside till the new coach came in. And I think it's a great spot. We're gonna have 2 softball fields for summer programming and stuff, the rest of the time. So I don't know what to say about the weather and the conditions, but hopefully by Thursday it's done. And to answer your question, over the money that was given to us, only 46,000, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. I think about 50's been spent right now. That's on the demo and the field work. And then the next question is gonna come up, well, they want dugouts. Well, I want dugouts too, but it's not gonna happen in the middle of your season until we can get it done until over the summer. We have some volunteers that are helping out with that, putting plans together, and that's what when it's slated for.
Right. Really appreciate you coming down, Sean. I don't see how that's fixed in a day, how that feels.
Well, I think,
in a day, even if it's nice, all right? And I was under the impression also that dugouts were part of this and were gonna be done for this
so
season.
you can't pour cement in the winter, and you can't.
I'm not arguing, Sean, I'm just saying, my understanding also was that we were gonna have dugouts there.
Yeah,
My understanding was also that we were gonna have a portable fence that was gonna be.
that's the school, that's got nothing to do with the.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm saying
blaming
with the
anyone. I
foundation
just
money,
wanna
that's
make
got
sure
nothing to
we're
do
all
with
on
us
the same
on that
page
part of
where
it.
we're going.
The school is in charge of their fencing and stuff. The fence can't stay up all the time because it's still a park. People still
No, I
use other
understand
things.
that.
It has to be broken
What about-
down. Unfortunately, that's what we have.
And as far as lining the fields, is that still part of
That's
the
not
schools?
like-
No, I know, it's still the schools and they understand.
Yeah, once he leaves the final, once he's done with everything, he's gonna shoot the lines, foul lines, all that, and then it's up to us to take care of it.
Is there gonna be foul pole on each side?
There's one foul pole now, we're gonna install another one, based on where they put the fence.
Okay.
So they'll be able to connect the fence. I haven't seen the fence yet, so I don't know what it looks like. But I guess they have one, and then we gotta find a place to store it.
Right, now we also, maybe we're going a little astray here, but it's still the same place. We also, and I don't know if this was Parks and Rec or not, but there was a storage shed down there, kinda near pickleball and tennis courts that seemed to have.
That was the farmer's markets.
Right. Is there some sort of shed we can get to make sure that there are rakes in there to, if it needs to be,
So
they can store bats and
the
balls?
design of the dugout, the home side dugout will have a shed attached to it, similar to what you see, I wanna say in the first base dugout at the high school, they have a storage thing next to it. And it'll be locked, it'll be like a regular door, metal door, and they'll be able to put their supplies, their balls, their bats, whatever they wanna put there.
And to use, if they so choose, to use any facilities at either the rink or the.
Well, you have a-
we could coordinate to make sure that they have adequate place. They
The only
bathrooms,
thing-
they could change, they could do it.
Springtime with the rink, I don't know how it works, but as far as the girls' locker rooms available, that the same one they use for hockey, they can transfer them in there, get dressed in there, that was always talked about, that was one of the reasons why we picked it, because they didn't have their own place, and they did have to travel. The other thing we brought up as well, we wanted to make Copton Park a softball area as well, but that was one of the reasons why we didn't do it, because it traveled for the kids.
All these girls drive.
So with that said, I look forward to seeing it be finished as well. I'm just as anxious as everyone else and on the phone asking every day, when can you come back? Sending videos and pictures to him to see if he can do it. But again, it comes with a cost. If you don't wait to do it the right way, it's just gonna cost us more later on, so.
Do we know a cost on dugouts?
Oh, what's that?
On dugouts?
There's nothing been floated yet. I have a guy who's volunteering to put a plan together. But I would say probably about 20,000 for what they're looking for.
We still have money left.
Yeah, we'll have money. Told you I have.
And I understand there's a lot of stuff that goes on, I just want to make sure from the council.
I just don't like the idea that someone's holding up people from playing on purpose. This isn't someone doesn't want them to play there, it's just the fact that the weather has killed everything around here, and any athletic director or rec director will tell you it's been a nightmare spring.
I don't disagree at all. It's
Yeah,
just
we-
sometimes-
I just
excuse me, it is sometimes, it's hard when, you know, we'll look at the veterans field and it's like, geez, that field looks great. And it's like the girls, hey, you have two daughters, I have a daughter, I understand, and it irks me on a lot of things in terms of different sports, and it just seems, you know, sometimes perception is reality. I understand you want them to play as bad as I want them to play, but I just wanna try to make this as a priority one as we possibly can. I'd like to get a copy of the girls' schedule too, to see when your next home game is. I assume it's Thursday.
Friday.
Okay.
I have, also on Veterans Field, the work that goes into that is by the coaches and the players, after they get it set up. So that's, I don't think there's someone personally just handling that can handle Ingleside. That's something that should be looked at in the future. If we wanna get stuff ready to go, there should be some type of maintenance person, wherever he falls under, I don't know, that handles the ball fields for both the school and the town.
What is the type of infield in the infield for the softball?
It's
Is
just
it
regular infield mix, it's just the
same as
yeah.
veterans field?
Same thing.
Same mix?
It's just the location of it. It's
No.
gotta be constantly groomed, someone's got to put a tractor on it. I think Mark went down and did some work on the tractor, try to get it ready for practice, but it's just too uneven. It's not ready, it's just not.
They have fencing or something to grade it with?
Yeah, it's just not ready to go, it's just not ready. Hopefully we get a better idea Thursday. But the girls are always welcome to Salucci Field at any time, they come first down there for games. Okay, we just need notice. They're welcome to the Little League field, even though they don't like to play in the league field. But keep in mind that at the Little League field, they played there for a very, very long time, leading up to last year. So, with that said, we'll make it work so they can have home games.
It's not ideal, it's not, I think they deserve more, and I think we're trying to do that, but, I will take more comment, I can't respond more, but you have my word, and please, I mean, I'm easy enough to reach, and, if you even wanna sell them, I don't care, but I wanna make sure that we could prioritize this as quickly as possible. So,
One question.
no, please, if any of the other, if the girls, if other mother, yes,
So I have something to say.
just your name, just for the record.
Oh, Juliana Marangi. The Little League A field, the pitcher's mound is a baseball mound. So for pitching on it, it's a completely different mound. So it's different for the pitchers. I don't think any of them are here today, but it's a completely different system, and it's very difficult for them to pitch on it. Which it's a different game, baseball and softball. They have grass fields, and we need dirt field. So it's very difficult to play on that field as much as we want to play on that field, because we want to play home games. We want to get out there. We're not wanting to travel to different towns to play our home games at. It's difficult to play there because of the mounding situation. We got in trouble because of the mound situation a couple years ago, and it's difficult to play there with the conditions that it's at from pitching perspective, and infield perspective as well.
Thank you. Understood. Any other of the girls?
What about parent?
Okay, yes.
So
I just, again, name and precinct.
Robert McFarland. So my question is, Sean, did you say it's the coaches
Sorry,
and the girls' responsibility to take care of the field?
I'm not saying that for the softball thing, I just know with the varsity baseball team, and
Yeah.
maybe the JV team, I don't know. If you go down there and the coaches and the kids are doing something down there at the end of practice, before the practice.
Right.
I'm not saying they have to do that, whatever the
No,
system
which
they
they
come up with,
do,
yeah.
which they
that's-
and they have been doing.
Yeah, and I'm sure they have, and
Um,
it's just, it's, like I said, this community could really use someone who takes care of all that stuff. Gets a schedule in the morning, knows what fields have to be ready, or a couple of days before, and going out and lining the fields and get the boots on and the rinks going.
Yeah.
That's basically what needs to really happen. But unfortunately, even if we had that, that still would not have been done.
So with the boys' high school baseball, who takes care of that field?
Who takes care of it?
Yeah, who takes care?
Yeah,
Who lines it? Who rakes it? Who does all that?
Coaches and the players, from what I understand.
Okay.
And I could be wrong, maybe there's someone else that helps, but I'm just saying this is what I've been told.
Again, I have daughters. I'm not sure if I thought that there was a staff that took care of the field.
Not that I'm familiar with, and if there
Okay.
is, send them my way, 'cause I have a lot of stuff.
Is there a plan in place to put a shed down there for them to have all that stuff, like to rake the field? I know you said that they could use the school for now, but is that something that's in the plans?
Yeah, it's part of the whole dugout project.
Okay.
Something, if I can just interject there, one of the conditions when we went on the phone call and petitioned the foundation for the money, there's a lot of these concerns came up with regard to maintenance and making sure we maintain the field after we invested the money, and we did promise, and you'll see there's money in our capital plan for that, to have a little money set aside to make sure that we maintain this field, whether it's buying a shed or doing whatever we need to do, rakes and things like that, so we did commit to that and we will uphold that, so.
I mean, I've asked for the last 2 years to try to create a parks department to do fields and to do public spaces, and I understand it's always comes down to dollars and cents, but it's just an investment in the future of the town, because again, nobody wants to spend money and then just see it on the ground.
Which is why.
Just name it.
My name's Christina Marengi, and I actually am involved in all of these things because I'm on the board of Winthrop Little League. I have a daughter and I have a son, and I've been working really well with Sean creating the youth softball program for the past few years. And I couldn't agree with him more. I mean, I do see the boys down there doing their own field. I'm on the Little League board. We do our own field. It is kind of a disgrace that the town doesn't have a position that helps this. I mean, I was down there on Sunday mornings with my trunk, going to the Little League field, getting my own rakes, bringing them to the Salucci, doing my own raking, lining my own fields, coming back, bringing the chalk all over my car. You know, and we really do need a position in town that, like Sean said, somebody who gets the schedule, takes care of the fields. It's a lot of work. We all have, children in this town. It's a small community. There's only a handful of fields, and they should be maintained correctly, just like all the other towns that we travel to.
My name's Nora Zaffini. With the locker rooms too, the youth locker rooms at hockey, they're for all of us to be changing in there, that's not really ideal. And you're not gonna shove us in the boys' varsity locker room. You're gonna put us in the girls' locker room for varsity hockey. I don't think we want to be sharing. Obviously we will, but I don't think we want to share a space between two sports. We should have our own lock. Do you know what I mean? Okay.
Yes.
Laurie McFarland. I know, Sean, you said that high school sports take priority. But we have been getting some pushback from youth soccer, essentially saying we can't use the field on this day because there's soccer practice that starts at, I don't know who kind of so I'm not sure where that.
I understand that, and I think I addressed that yesterday with a couple of people there. See, when you have a new group come in, Little League changes hands every so many years, board members, coaches, people that handle that. I think the same thing happens with soccer, but between myself and Little League and youth soccer, we've always managed to work together to make sure we got it in. Now, with soccer, they're affected a little bit with the smaller fields, but their big field is still in use when the girls play, because you can put the fence up, you can do some things down there, okay? So that's always there. And this is what drives me kind of nutty sometimes. When people say, this person said that, I don't even know who that person is, but no one takes the time to call me and ask. Or send a quick email, what's the procedure? I had a meeting last Saturday morning with some of the girls softball people about that, and they were kind of shocked about some of the stuff that they didn't know. But again, it's just, maybe it's my fault for not getting information out there to everyone every year, I don't know, but I will say that no school program has ever been turned down from any field, because you have deadlines to make. You have deadlines. You don't see it in the winter because it's all indoors. The rink, same thing with them. I think you get the prime ice time because of that. So, I don't know, it's a shame that it's not done. I feel for you, I get it, and I call every day. So hopefully Thursday we get a big chunk of it and you're playing there Friday. If not, we'll just keep on and get it done, and hopefully the weather stays good. That's all I can say.
My name is Nicole Rosato. So I want to say, I don't think anyone is pointing fingers at you, Sean. I think the girls just genuinely want everyone to be transparent with them. They're getting, oh yeah, you can play on the field on Monday. It'll be ready to go. We all know it's not ready to go. Us as parents know that it is not going to be ready on Monday. So with that said, I think the girls are just looking for transparency and honesty. They don't wanna hear one answer from one person, another answer from another person. And like Brianna said, we're not here to point fingers, we're not here to blame anybody. We understand that the weather plays a role in all of this. But the transparency part is the biggest thing to them.
And I think that is a good point, and I think sometimes communication goes a little bit sideways with people hearing maybe what they wanna hear. But at the same time, when people predict something, maybe they shouldn't predict, maybe they should tell you 2 weeks out, and if it's done sooner, it's better off. We go off what people say to myself or Mark for that matter. So we get that, and the weather changed it, and he can't come that day, so maybe it pushes it back 2 or 3 days.
Correct.
So
And
it's just
maybe when that happens, maybe you can, say to the girls, hey, we got a phone call from, or have Mark just come down to the girls and tell them that.
This is a school activity, I don't
Right.
overstep my bounds, if they ask me, I'll be glad to notify everyone. with a
Right, it
mass
doesn't
email.
have to come from you,
But
but
I
you
can-
can tell Mark
Yeah,
and Mark can
and
tell them.
we're in good communication, but I think sometimes you hear what you wanna hear sometimes, and that's, sorry, that's what I believe.
Or they're being
We were
told certain
told.
things.
Any other public comment on the girls softball? Alright, it's Tuesday night.
Right, yeah.
I'm sorry, yes.
Chris Evans, who are you using for the field? Cause we've had Veterans Field's been rebuilt, A Field's been rebuilt, we're having B Field rebuilt tomorrow. We're putting in a proposal next week to have C Field skimmed over to turn into a softball field, and we've done 3 fields for less than $12,000. So I'm just curious who's being used, the guy's coming
Well-
tomorrow, I can see if he can come down the field, so
Well,
they
for
don't
this
have to play in
project,
the
we've
Little
used
League.
New England's turf, we've used home field turf before. But Veterans Field is done, how that's done, I'm not involved in
I know,
that
I'm-
pricing, hold on. And then the C Field, the Little League people came to me about skating that field 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we talked about doing it, and they didn't wanna do it. Now they wanna do it in the middle of their season. I think it's a great idea, but again, the B and C Field is on school property. That's up to the athletic director and the league to decide how that comes about. It has nothing to do
I know,
with something
I'm
we
not
manage.
saying it has anything to do with it.
But you're talking about pricing wise,
I'm on the Little League, I'm the vice president of Little League, that's
Sure.
why I'm bringing it
Yeah.
up, because we're putting a proposal in because it was pushed back 2 years ago. Seafield shouldn't be a baseball field, there's no need for that to be a baseball field at all. It should have been a softball field 2 years ago. I don't know why it wasn't done 2 years ago.
and I think.
They don't wanna play on the A field, I don't wanna see them get yelled at for something that's out of their control. So I'm just curious.
I can give you some vendors you can shop with and look around. if
Well,
you
I
like.
know we have a vendor that's done
Oh, you do?
all the, that he did Veterans Field after he did A Field for us, that's why I was asking.
Oh.
I'm not
I think it might be the-
placing blame,
I
I'm
think it
just
might
trying
be
to.
the same, I think it might be the same company,
Oasis?
that did Veterans Field. Well, it depends on what year you're talking about there.
Yeah, he just did it.
I can find out, but.
I'm not trying to blame, I'm just trying to,
No, it's,
get them-
you could blame me for all you want, one thing.
I don't
know
want,
I
I'm
make
just trying,
I
I'm just
make a
trying
lot
to get,
more money if I can control the weather, I'll tell you.
I'm just trying to get them to get on their, I'm just trying to get the girls on their field as soon as possible.
Sure, me too.
They don't wanna play in the baseball field, they've gotten, last year there was a problem with Salucci and they had to play in A field, and it affected Little League, and it
They
costs
have never
attention,
been-
it doesn't need
they've
attention,
never
it's
been
all,
told
it's
no
out of
to
their,
Salucci
it's
Field.
all out of their control.
Never been told no
They
at Sushi
have.
Field,
They
not by me.
absolutely
We have, and
But somebody.
Sean, I know it's not you, but this year Little League softball has been told, you're not using the field as long as soccer's going on. The nets have been placed between shortstop and second base. You can't go on that field. The Salucci Field is huge. I don't know why we can't have multiple youth sports use the same facility.
Yes, and it's going on, it is going on, and it's going to happen.
And it's just a shame that this has been going on for years, that they don't have a field. That's why I'm asking, I'm not
Yeah.
placing blame, I just
No, no.
wanna know how we can help.
Yes.
We have been told that we have to get off of Salucci by 3:30 because of soccer, so we've practiced from 2:45 to 3:30, which is not a long practice for a varsity level sport. And as well as in the middle of games, soccer balls would be kicked into our fields, into our outfields from soccer, so.
Softball. Related? Yes.
Hi, I'm Erin Barcelos, Precinct 5. Just real quick, y'all, I'm so sorry that you don't have a softball field. Like, if people have not played softball before, and or if they have and they've had to play on a baseball field, it just throws everything off. Like nothing works right. Besides, what would be helpful from community members? Like right now, like where you guys are having to do like all these things, like could there be like a contact, like if things need to be moved or cleaned up or helped out, can we work on building some of that up for you guys? So that's all I just want to say, at least in the meantime.
Okay, you will hear from us over the next couple of days, I promise. You guys are free, if you wanna stay, you're more than welcome.
Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Nineteen 72.
Just playground stuff.
There were homeless people living in
Sean?
It's being rebuilt back.
Yeah, so, just so you know, when the weather changes from winter to spring, obviously people looking right away for the good weather and hit the playgrounds, hit all this stuff. We are correcting some major stuff at Master Playground. Not major at Ingleside, some minor stuff that we went around with, and it's gonna take some time to replace some swings and some other conditions. So if you get any emails, calls, we are on it, on all of them. We went through all 7 of parks the other day, and then getting some calls in Euro Beach, but I just wanna know ahead of time, so, you know, it's pretty much all documented.
Thank you. Continue with public comment, please. Excuse me, public comment. John, yes.
Well, this is certainly a hard act to follow, but I'm gonna do my best. John Morgan, Precinct 4. Each counselor in front of them has our Winthrop Commission on Disabilities, their second edition handbook or resource book. I hope you have a chance to go through it. All the information in there is for people with disabilities, and our second edition has some more resources that I hope that you can go through, and hopefully if you know someone who has a disability, a family member, friend, and you think that this can help them, please use this book to its maximum, I hope, potential. Our Winthrop Commission on Disabilities is working hard to make this information known, which for many years nobody knew that anything like this existed. And I wish I could talk more clearly, but I'm trying. If you find someone who could use this book, please pass it on. And thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you,
Much
John.
appreciated. Jack.
This be very brief. This concerns the
Mr. Dodd, just name and precinct.
Officer Jack Precinct 4. Concerns the litigation going on with the Massport contract for the town of Winthrop. I'm gonna read it, so I'll make it fast. The FAA and Massport are involved with the soundproofing of houses in Winthrop. Excuse me. The homes in Winthrop. The program is funded by a surcharge applied to tickets of each airline passenger. Logan Airport services 45 million passengers a year. The FAA also has an acquisition program, and this concerns a different area of the town than what they usually conform to as far as soundproofing. I'm talking about an acquisition program for the houses on particularly Morton Street, because it's a big problem. Morton Street's a big problem. The FAA has an acquisition program. Homeowners will be paid market value at its highest and best use. So if people want to get out of the water down there, they can sell their house. And then that goes to, if they sell the house, it becomes open space. Nothing else can be built. So you won't have a flooded house down there anymore. It's time for Massport to pay a surcharge per passenger for the use of town-owned property that they use to land planes. This is a simple and fair solution. And like I said, it's already in use by the FAA to do the soundproofing. That's how the funding is provided to the towns for the soundproof of houses around. So it'll continue. Very easy solution. The town council should institute a committee chaired by Councilor Joe Romano to lead the town to a better future. Joe is the future. Thank you. You're welcome, Jim.
Moving on. Correspondence, Denise?
No, I haven't received any.
Committee reports, finance. Council Tessner.
Thank you, Council President. Finance Committee met Tuesday, March 31st, here in the Harvey Room. In attendance were Councilor Dimes, Councilor Tassinari, and Councilor Reardon. Also, Council Member Swope, and for the town of Winthrop, Sarah Johnson, Robert Powell, Manager Tony Marino, and for the Citizens Advisory Committee on Finance, Karen Chavez. We heard discussion on two motions that are coming before us again tonight. The motion to appropriate retained earnings in the Waterway Harbor Masters Enterprise Fund for repair and maintenance of the floats, and the motion to modify the general fund budgets for FY '26. Both motions came out of the committee with a favorable recommendation. The first, for the Waterway Harbor Master Enterprise Fund, is to cover needed repairs and maintenance on the floats. It is just limited to the marina floats, as explained by the town manager. It does not include any work at the ferry terminal. This is just for the marina floats, and they want to be able to do that work as soon as possible. So we voted to send that to the full council with a favorable recommendation. For the modification of the FY '26 budgets, this is a routine business kind of action that we're moving funds, or the manager requested to move funds from specific accounts that were underspending for FY '26 into accounts that needed additional funding for FY '26. One of the major sources of that funding was from the certification of free cash to the Northeast Regional Vocational Operational and Debt Service line items from their FY '24 budget. So what happened was, at the end of FY '24, Northeast Regional Vocational Tech School had their funding certified by DLS, Department of Local Services. They got their excess deficiency letter, which said they had extra money they needed to return back to the towns. As one of the member towns, they had to return it back to us, and that was reflected in our FY '26 budget. So the room in the FY '26 budget is allowing us to move funding from those accounts to fund a handful of other things in the town budget. On the operational side, it's gonna fund some consulting services, some personnel, some materials, some software licenses, the repair and maintenance of one of the fire vehicles, and some fire training services for new firefighters. On the capital side, it's gonna help fund the first payment of the pumper engine and help fund, that's for the Northeast Regional funding. There's another move in the police line they're gonna forgo buying new tasers this fiscal year and put the funding towards repairing the police station, where they added a new bathroom to the front to pre-security public, to the public area in the police station across the street. So that's also came out of the committee with a favorable recommendation to allow the town to continue to do its business for fiscal year 26.
Thank you. If the council changes, we could just take these two motions out of order and just, so we don't have to go back over it again in old business. And the first one, if you would like, is the town appropriate retained earnings waterways harbor master enterprise fund, repairs and maintenance of floats. If you would like to just read that motion again, we could just take it out of.
Sure, do we need to vote taking out of order, or we just want to
Yes.
take it?
Motion to take these two items out of order.
Anyone
Is there a
make a
motion? Motion by Councilor Diane, second by Vice President Swope. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Councilor Tassinari.
Thank you, Council President. This motion is for $40,000 from the retained earnings account for the waterways to the repair and maintenance of infrastructure of the waterways account. Text of the motion reads, I move that town council appropriate from retained earnings in the waterways harbor master enterprise fund the amount of $40,000 for extraordinary repairs and maintenance of the floats in the marina, or take any other action thereto. The retained earnings balance at the end of this motion will be $97,979.
This came out of committee with positive recommendation. Anybody have any discussion, further discussion on it? A roll call, please.
Council Costigan,
Yes.
Council Tassinari,
Yes.
Council Malau,
Yes.
Council Dynes,
Yes.
Council Romano,
Yes.
Council Reardon,
Yes.
Council Finn,
Yes.
Vice President Swope, President Lettieri.
Yes, motion passes. Councilor Tassinari, if you would like to read the motion for the general fund transfer.
Yes, thank you, Council President. The title of this motion is a fiscal year 26 general fund interbudgetary transfers proposed by Town Manager Anthony Marino. I move that the Town Council vote to modify the following general fund budgets for fiscal year 2026 to better facilitate current budget needs or take any other action relative thereto. The funding sources for these moves are as mentioned previously, the Northeast Regional Vocational Operating Line, the Northeast Regional Vocational Debt Service Line, the Fire Department generator. That during discussion was explained that it was going to be pushed to the new construction. We're not gonna need that generator for the existing buildings. And the police taser line. The total of those reductions will be $234,500. The funding destinations, as previously mentioned, are consulting services, personnel, materials, software licenses, repair and maintenance of the fire vehicles, and then training services for the fire department, as well as the first payment for the pumper engine and for the payment for the repairs to the police station in that public area. The total for the funding destinations is $234,500.
Thank you. That also came out of committee with a positive recommendation, does not require a second. Any further discussion or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Council Costigan,
Yes.
Council Tassinari,
Yes.
Council Malau,
Yes.
Council Dynes,
Yes.
Council Romano,
Yes.
Council Reardon,
Yes.
Council Finn,
Yes.
Vice President Swope, President Lettieri.
Yes, motion passes. Thank you, Council Tassinari. Vice
Thank you,
President
Council
Swope, Public Health and Work.
Yeah, there were a couple of meetings that we had. One, I'll just briefly tell you that it's online, and it's also the earlier meeting that we had of our Health, Safety and Public Works Committee. It's online, and so you can listen to that, and I also made some notes on it that you can also see. Present was Steve Calla and Stephen Calandra, who's our fire chief, and Meredith Hurley was online, as well as Marty Finn, Paul Reardon, Suzanne Swope, of course, is chaired. All three of our committee members were there. But the committee is charged with oversight of the departments supervised by the town manager. And some of the highlights of that meeting, although you can listen to it in full, is that the fire chief is always concerned about overbuilding. And it's a fire safety and a medical risk, so it's a threat. And we have to either find ways to curtail parking or make sure that people park or make sure that we have more one-way streets. It's still a problem, and particularly a problem when the gates are closed from Revere. If we have a storm, that is also a problem. So staffing is, as Steve Keller mentioned, is of concern. The good news is that we're able to hire I wouldn't say consultants, we're able to hire outside staff since that budget stays, the staffing budget stays. So we're able to hire temporary employees if we can't find full-time employees, and I think they do a good job of that. And we talked about whether that's a bad thing or a good thing. I mean, it's Steve would love to have full-time employees because the work that they do is more consistent in terms of timing. Although it's not bad to have somebody who is also good at what they do come in and take charge of some of the problems that we have. Since Chapter 90 money depends on the amount of roadways we have, smaller towns often don't get as much funding from Chapter 90 from the state as other towns do, even though the work is similar. So the next steps on that committee meeting is that we need to put strategic priorities in writing, I think, and identify some recent trends. I'd love to see some more high-level metrics for each department, and I would also like to see more top-level strategic risks with metrics that the committee should monitor, and perhaps more data is needed to be collected on why people leave, not just because of money. Maybe there are other reasons that we could look at. The next meeting we had was tonight, and it has to do with the with a motion that the town council vote to grant permission to National Grid to install IJO pole on Pauline Street beginning at the point approximately 237 northeast of the center line of the intersection of Pauline Street and Fremont, and continuing approximately 24 feet in the south direction, National Grid, to install a 45-foot Class 2 pole on southern walkway of Pauline Street in front of 22 Pauline Street. This pole is needed to install new OHXRFM that will be feeding new apartments at 22 Pauline Street, and because existing nearby poles are at capacity. This came out of a discussion, and Russ Sanford is here if you have further questions about it, but this is a pole that we need to put electricity into already the existing units that are there. We do need to cut down a tree for that, and Mr. Sanford has agreed to install or plant a new tree in replacement of that, but this has to do with how far the electricity can be from any pole. I mean, trees can be from any pole, so it has to be 10 feet, and so therefore that's what we have to do. Perhaps we should take a motion on that, and we came out of committee positively to recommend it.
Okay. This did come out of committee with positive recommendation. We could also waive it. Both to the
Motion, take it out of order.
motion to take it out of order by Councilor Romano, second by Councilor Tassinari. Discussion on this motion, and I will say my discussion would be, we'll vote on this and then we'll talk about other items.
I have it.
Any other discussion on this specific motion?
Council President, just a point of order, and a reminder to National Grid and the applicant, Mr. Sanford, somebody needs to apply to the tree committee for a hearing to take down the tree, and that's one of the requirements is public shade tree. So they just need to contact the tree committee and have that hearing on it, be posted properly, and then we can take the tree down and, you know, hopefully get permission to replant.
Would somebody like to make an amendment to the motion to just add pursuant to the applicant?
I'll make the
applying for-
amendment.
So there's an amendment made to pursuant to the fact that the applicant will make a petition to the tree committee to have the tree removed, made by Vice President Swope, seconded by Councilor Romano. So now we'll take the motion as amended. Any further questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those no, the ayes have it. Thank you.
And to further, we had further discussion about the concerns about double poles. The situation continues, and so we hope to have some metrics on that of how we're going to eliminate as we go along the line double poles. We understand that National Grid, Comcast, Verizon need to work together better. And we'll be looking forward to that process, and hopefully, our recommendation is we bring National Grid and Verizon to this committee so that they can help us be better stewards of our land and also reduce things like double poles on our streets. And finally, the committee discussed the need for understanding what it is that we need to help you all work together, and so that we are the recipients as a customer of better service. Thank you.
Thank you. And just on that also, I will be requesting that at our first meeting in May, if it's possible to have National Grid and Comcast and Verizon here, and also to discuss the electric lines that are in the tree and to see what steps need to be taken to eliminate that, which is another process we understand.
Chief Calandra, he already called in and created a work request.
Okay.
So that job is already designed. So is now I expressed that in the previous meeting. So it's another work request. Now we just waiting. We need two things. Like, it doesn't need to be like that formal, but it can be just like an email expressing like from the town saying that once, even that it can be redundant because the town already created a work request, but for our forestry guy, they need like a formality, like an email that's saying that you want to move forward removing the tree. And the other thing, we need an easement agreement for the new pole because it's a private parcel, but it's owned by the city.
Yes.
So I already submit that to Chief Calandra email, the easement form. So after I get that information, we can pass that to our right-of-way group, and she will do the easement agreement. But it's already done, it's already designed.
Thank you. We will have that information for you shortly, and we will expect to see you here at the first meeting in May. Thank you, Vice President Swope, and if you want to just make a few comments on your listening post.
Yeah, listening posts are fun, actually.
Sorry? Before we go on, I just had a question about the lines in the tree again.
Yep.
That's gonna involve taking that existing tree down?
Yes. We're talking about the one that is in the fire station parcel?
Yep.
Yes.
Taking the tree down or taking the wires out of it?
So it needs to be taking down the tree.
Okay. Well, that's going to be a discussion at our
Yes.
meeting.
That's like actually that was like the formal proposal from that was the request from fire chief.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to discuss
Yeah.
that.
I'm not a forestry expert,
I know you guys are. Okay.
but it looks like a sick tree.
Okay. Well, we'll have a professional decide. Thank you.
This is the tree that's
I know,
behind.
the back,
Yeah.
Steve, that's another issue,
That's a
that's
different
another.
issue,
DPW director.
Yeah, just real quick, Rafa, while we got you in the room. And I know you're genuine when you pitch these projects, I truly, I've known you long enough.
Yes.
The last two projects that you come in here, you know, to petition for,
Yes.
they didn't get built the way you said they were gonna get built. Okay? Both locations. Double poles are left and the sidewalk panels are still in dirt. They never came back to cement anything in. So, you know, this is Pauline Street, it's a great project, I understand the need for this, but that's our gateway to the Center Business District. So, you know, not that it's more important than the other places, we gotta get this right, but you gotta go back and you gotta correct those other locations and make sure that they're finished the way, you know, you promised when you petitioned the project.
Yes.
You know, we're here to support you, but you gotta follow through with those other projects.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hold on one second. Did you want to respond?
Yes. It's true that I came before, and finally we met like a few times before, even like petitioning with Mr. Steve, and at least the good thing was that I got the understanding what was the concerning about the double poles. So we bring from National Grid perspective like a new way to design these projects. There were like two projects. That was the Ocean Ave project, and the last one that I remember was the Shirley Ave, the 110
Street and Veterans Road and Ocean Ave.
Exactly.
Ocean Ave got 6 new poles and they're all double poles now.
Yes. So what I want to say about that one is even that I came here to petition that one, that petition didn't pass. And actually it was not petitioned. At the end of the day, the problem was that I redesigned that project 3 times because to find a solution because we didn't get the approval from the town I was requesting 2 poles at that not requesting new poles. I didn't get that. And what I got was to install a new pole on customer's property, and because didn't go through and it was so in advance and it passed like almost like a year and they were needing like to do all the renovation for the heating and AC system, that project went through without the requirement that I promised, that was no double poles and sidewalk restorations. So for that project specifically, I have to check what I can do, at least for the sidewalk restoration is something that I can do, but honestly, I don't have like for example, like I just told the last time, call for a new work request and I can do that. It's easy, it's not gonna be any charge on the town, obviously, to take down the tree. But for this one, I don't know how to get the money to repair something that in my case, I didn't put in the design, that the sidewalk restoration. Now, the double poles, I know, for example, in the other, now, Shirley Street, in this case, if they haven't done the sidewalk restoration, I can do that, I can do something. Because in that project, I included, so I just need like to push on the civil contractor to do it, and he's gonna be doing it. Now, the only way that I can solve double poles is what we call, I expressed that the last time, like we call like cut and kick. So we cut the existing pole, remove the butt, and use the same hole. And just like a small chunk of wood is left over until all the transfers get done, and in that case, Verizon, that is the last of the list, he do, and he's like, by agreement, he's the one who's responsible to remove the pole. And it's true, in shame because it makes me look like a liar that I came here and just after that, 5 new double poles. But in that, now that what I can do is, okay, maybe where other projects, because after that, if I'm not wrong, we have only petitioned like 2 work requests. We have other ones, but they are whole, and I understand Mr. Steve because it's the only way like to try to do something. However, in those double poles, I think that is the majority, it's not only Verizon or the other third parties that are the ones who are holding to eliminate the double poles. In most of the cases, it's because, at least in Ocean Ave, I know because I check it, it's part of the engine system that the National Joint On Utility System. There is like a list that who goes first and who go after to do the transferring of the wires. And now actually those poles are held by the town because the fire alarm wire.
Right. All right, and we're gonna go over this
Okay.
in more detail in May. So
Okay.
thank you. And we just want more
But-
just like the girls were just
Yes.
saying softball. We just
Yes.
want more transparency,
yes.
more communication to make sure
Yes.
what we promise gets done.
What I can propose is maybe even like, I know that probably you have been working with Tammy Saporito, like directly with her. It's not my, but I can go with Mr. Steve or someone that you want and see which one are the things that probably even I'm not aware, probably were like projects that were before I can start talking here. But believe me that I'm gonna be doing all what I can do.
Right, my only request,
Yes.
Robert, is that you walk the project after it's done. If you walk down there right now, you're gonna see dirt piles in the sidewalk, you can't walk past the pole, and it's dirt, it's not ADA compliant, I mean, it's just a mess. And who do we go after to get the work done? Does it fall on DPW, I have to go there and clean it and cement in the panels?
No.
Well,
So-
I do, because someone's gonna fall over the piles.
Yeah, so as I'm in the engineering department, we only design the project. I only get like that notice when you notify to me about something and I can do something.
Who do you recommend we speak to?
No, in that case, you can do it with me. I'm not like avoiding the responsibility and I can move forward. Even like the last time I sent an email, which projects are like the ones that I can check it again. And for example, for the Shirley Street one, it's something that I know that I can do something and restore the sidewalks.
You know, it needs things, but it's much better condition than Ocean Ave. You can't walk down the sidewalk.
We're gonna continue this, we're gonna ask you to get some information to us, we're gonna move on. Did somebody else have a point on this? Vice President. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Well, these are,
This is that green
posted, it's just an opportunity
green
for
button. Thank you.
folks to come in. Sometimes they bring up issues, sometimes they bring up things, sometimes, anyway, so, that in the listening post, we did have, some questions about tracking complaints and follow-up actions, and I think we're already trying to do that in the town council. We did have, some questions about who's responsible for doing what, and this came up particularly in snow removal, so I know that John, Morgan brought up the fact that when you have a, bus stop that's in front of a house, a bus stop in front of a business, and a bus stop just because it's a bus stop and it's not in front of anybody. Who takes care of taking care of the snow removal? We don't have to worry about that today, but we'll have to worry about that next time. And if it's always DPW, then that's one thing. If it's MBTA that's supposed to take care of some of that, we'll just have to let people know about who's responsible for it. And then we talked about just improving communication when town events and emergencies happen. And I know that we worked hard on that one, but there are still some concerns about that. The Tall Ships events, the community triathlon, as suggested, Winter Farmers Market, all three had some traction on that, so we'll see what happens. I don't know if we'll do a triathlon, but that went to the Chamber of Commerce. The Winter Farmers Market went to the Senior Center, and we'll see if that goes anywhere. And of course, the activities for the Tall Ships, I think Tony's already on that and talking about what we could do collectively to make that happen, so thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Malat.
Rules and ordinances met last Tuesday, March 31st at 6:30 p.m. In attendance was Councilor Dimes, Councilor Romano, and myself, Councilor Millar. In attendance, we had DPW Director Steve Calla. And on our agenda, we had the motion for the new ordinance, Chapter 8.37, Land Disturbance and Erosion Control, and also motion by Councilor Romano to have multiple member body meetings that have Zoom or other virtual attendance capabilities posted to online hosting or town website. The first discussion we started was with the ordinance for land disturbance and erosion control. Director Cowley did speak up. You heard almost same kind of explanation of what the ordinance is and how it's required, and we needed it. He spoke at during our meeting for that. We also had, with that motion, we did, have a full favorable recognition, a unanimous, affirmative to move that, motion forward to the council. The second one for the, Councilor Romano, excuse me, having the Zoom or other virtual attendance capabilities posted online or hosted. We did discuss it, different avenues, we'll be sending a request to the town manager to see if we can get some information on storage capability, whether through our IT department or hosted in on something like YouTube. There's additional questions and what it would cost and everything. I'll send an email out once I have everything. Sorry for my voice. So that'll be coming out. We did have this continued, the second motion continued. It will be on our next agenda.
Thank you. So we did have one motion coming out of there, and as we did with the other ones, if we'd like. Motion by Councilor Romano, take it out of order. Second by Councilor Dimes. And this is a motion that the town council vote to add chapter 8.37.00 land disturbance and erosion control to the town current ordinances. This came out of committee with a positive recommendation, does not require a second. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor, let's take a roll call.
Councilor Costigan.
Yes.
Councilor Tassinari.
Yes.
Councilor Malab.
Yes.
Councilor Dimes.
Yes.
Councilor Romano.
Yes.
Councilor Reardon.
Yes.
Councilor Finn.
Yes.
Vice President Swope. Yes. President Lettieri. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. School department report, school committee.
Excuse me. Could we just talk about that second?
It's still a committee, but we can't talk about it now. But we can, it's, Council Millar said it's gonna come up in his next meeting.
Next
I assume will be in the next, for our next council meeting. And
It is on the agenda though.
it's still in committee. As long as it's still in committee, it's not discussed. We will have it on the agenda for next meeting. We will discuss it in committee, subcommittee, when we come back. School department did meet last evening, relatively brief meeting. The discussion revolved basically around two subjects. One
Council
would-
President, if I could, I'm sorry, we get an actual motion and a vote on the National Grid?
On the motion?
We did.
We took them, okay, that was me.
We had the amended motion that
Yeah,
we
the motion
amended
was-
it.
yeah, we had it.
Voted?
Okay, you're right,
fine,
that's me,
fine.
yep. Thank you.
Thank you, sorry.
Again, two items basically that were discussed last night. One was contract negotiations. There was supposed to be a special school committee meeting tomorrow night. That meeting has been postponed. There's potentially a meeting next week. And again, all discussions, activity and such are on the school department's website. So you can look there for follow-ups. Also, the superintendent informed us that at the next school committee meeting, there would be a budget presentation from the school. I know they're working incredibly hard on that, and I thank her for her work with that. The policy committees.
The superintendent provided a date for that, for the school committee.
It's on the website. It's 2 Mondays from last night, so today's.
School committee is the 27th.
27th. Update on policy committees, Conservation Commission, certificate of compliance for 30A Main Street approved on April 1st, next meeting May 6th. Board of Appeals, continuation of 190 Otis Street on April 16th. Applicant seeks a permit to build a 2.5-story dwelling on 4,000 square foot lot. That's before the Board of Appeals. Next meeting with the planning board meets April 13th, 2026, and the Winthrop Board of License meets April 15th, 2026. Town manager's report has been circulated. If Tony wants to add anything, and then I'll open it up for questions?
No, just Councilor Vice President Swope brought it up with regard to the 250, the tall ships. We did have a meeting with MWRA. They're far along and they're planning for that event. Obviously, there'll be some traffic disruptions up around Point Shirley. It is only one day, July 11th, when the boats come into town. A lot of people will be getting there early because they like to go out and get their spots. You know, they get out as early as 6 a.m. and they go out to the Deer Island and they try to get on the docks and get a good viewing area. We're going to be helping out with shuttle service. And then we're going to be looking to do what we did before with some food trucks and whatnot along Euro Beach, because there'll be a lot of foot traffic, you know, walking down there and things like that. So they've got a good plan in place. We've got some follow-up meetings, and as we get information, we'll get it out to everybody with regard to, you know, the timing. Looks like they're going to sort of stop everything at Taft's Ave and then let everybody either shuttle or walk up from there. And then we'll certainly put some notices out to the Point Shirley neighborhood. I know in the past we've done something with parking passes and whatnot, you know, for Point Shirley residents. We'll look to probably recreate that and things like that. So we are working on those things, more to follow on that. And then also we've got the, I've been talking to Council President and others on the council with regard to the 250th celebration. You know, there's been some traction with the boat parade and things like that. You know, I know there's been talk about maybe piggybacking off of the tall ships and maybe the next day. There was some concern about being so far after the 4th of July that maybe there wouldn't be people that interested in it at that point. So we'll see what's happening. We're going to reach out to the yacht clubs to see, because obviously we'll need their support and attendance and help with that. So we're going to reach out to them and see if we can, you know, target a date and obviously bring it back to this group. I know Councilor Dimes reached out to me with regard to helping out. If anybody else wants to help out and jump in, yeah, Councilor Swope, thank you. So we'll look to get going on that and hopefully have a great event for the 250th as well. I did send out the list of grants that we had applied for and some that we either weren't able to apply for. And then we put the maximum grant totals in there. Obviously, no guarantee we would have gotten that maximum, but you know, those grant totals are in there. There are some grants in there that we did not get because of it. I did send some follow-up emails. One on the that were attached with that. One was obviously the letter from the cooling corridors grant, you know, that said that, you know, we didn't get it because of 3A. The other one was the Fisherman's Bend grant. They actually referenced 3A as well in there. And then the other MVP grant, which everybody else got that we didn't, you know, I would assume it's 3A, but no way to prove that because the denial letter just said you know, you didn't get qualified this year, and that was for the Morton and Banks area. And then there's several grants this year because they've sort of upped the ante. We can't even apply for some of the grants, whether it's, you know, Green Communities, the Commission on Disabilities grant, the school grants that we haven't included yet, but we will, and then the waterways grant. Some of them we can't even apply for. There's a box you have to check on the application, and that gets to, you know, Councilor Romano's question. You know, do we have any proof? Well, the proof is we can't even get past the application page because we have to check the box if we're 3A compliant and we're not. So, you know, those are the running totals, and you know, some of those grants, and certainly we can differentiate if people want, you know, between the ones we got letters or not, if that, you know, makes people happy. But there is potential there. Like we got 225 out of the 250 when we asked for the Commission on Disabilities a year ago when we did the ramp on the library. Green Communities, I've never been turned down. I mean, I've done all the communities in here. We've gotten the max amount, so I mean, certainly I would anticipate we'd get pretty close to the max amount of that if we were able to apply, and things like that. So I mean, there is definitely some impact from that. You know, you never be able to prove it 100%, but that's, you know, based on past history, there is some impact from that. So certainly I'm open to answer any questions on that, but and that'll be a, you know, a working document. I mean, we've got grant applications that go in all the time. We'll keep adding them and taking them off, and as we get them and updating the dates. One of the other questions Councilor Romano has the dates. There's an application deadline. That's the date we applied. So that first column that's in there, that's the date we applied, and then there's a date awarded and whether we got it or not, and then how much we got and things like that. So that's all on there. And certainly open to any questions.
Councilor Costigan.
Thank you, Town Council President. Excuse my hoarse voice. But, yeah, just the tall ships itself.
Yep.
I'm a little surprised that Precinct Councilor Romano was not included in those meetings where he is severely impacted in the Point Shirley area. I think he's somewhat curious as to what will happen, and he's gotten a lot of questions already as it relates to the tall ships. I would want to make a recommendation that you consider putting him on and in the next several meetings, which I know are scheduled. That would be very helpful to the residents of Point Shirley. it's gonna be heavily impacted.
I wasn't requested that, I mean, these have been staff meetings up till now, but certainly if a counselor wants to attend, I would have no issue with it.
I would recommend that
Yeah,
heavily.
I'll make sure MWRA is okay with it, but that's fine, yeah.
I don't see
There's
why they-
there's
I don't see
security.
why they wouldn't be, so.
Well, there were security protocols there and things, that internal stuff that they don't want released publicly, so I'll just make sure I ask them, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Council Castanari, Council.
Thank you, Council President. Town Manager Marino, thank you very much for this list, this spreadsheet. Really lays it out clear. We've lost out on 2.5 million so far and counting, so that's disappointing. I don't see anything that we missed out on that's gonna be hurtful to our operating budget, unless I'm incorrect. Okay.
No, there's nothing, enough of the operating, that's just, but again, it's
These are just
additional
things
things
that
that need to be done, yeah, that we can't get done.
Please, yeah. That's what I was gonna ask. Yeah,
There is an
these
impact
things
on
are-
our capital plan, like the Green Communities Grant.
Yep.
We look to do some weatherization projects and, energy upgrades, like those are things we'd incorporate in and we would fund that. So there is a little bit of impact, not so much the operating fund, but, the capital plan.
Definitely on the capital side, and on the, maintaining a good state of repair on many things across the town, and certainly being impacted by not having this funding available, and this is not even including the capital earmark funding that is also unavailable because of our non-compliance.
We haven't got a final answer on that one yet, the one we asked for the fire station, we're still waiting to hear back on that. So I won't say that's dead in the water yet.
Yeah.
I'm still holding out.
no answer
I'm
is
still
also
holding
an
out
answer
hope,
too.
yeah, I'm still
Right.
holding out hope on that one.
No answer is an answer.
No, well, yeah.
Just like commentary in terms of the council is here to advise the town manager, not be a part of every single internal meeting that town employees have. Just, it's not really our place to be inside the operations of the departments of the town. We're here to advise, to vote and give instruction to the manager. It's not the same as being in the room, I guess, so to say, for various meetings. That's,
I mean, the only,
Guess I'm off
and as far as Councilor Romano and then whatnot, I mean, that's fine to invite, just a lot of times these meetings happen during the day, so I mean, I know with people's work schedules and other schedules, sometimes they can't be available, but, we'll make every effort to, certainly, I mean, I know Council President and other councils have attended meetings, I don't have really a big issue with it, but I just, as far as, that's fine, so, thank you.
Councilor Millar.
I do appreciate seeing the spreadsheet of all the grants. It's showing that there's financial injury to the town now. Where potentially over a period of time, such as the MVP grant, even though say it's not part of 3A, but losing that money does hurt some of what we'd like to get done in town. But I'll bring up with grants again is that a lot of grants we get, we also have to tie in town money with projects that we do. So sometimes there is a little bit of balance with the grants is, yes, it's hurting at some points, and other points it's beneficial. So it was good to see this laid out. I did review it. And I think it'd be good for the public to see it too, so they get an understanding. And then tying into the tall ships, I know we did parking stickers one year.
Right.
Are we gonna try to attempt to do that with a free sticker to residents down to at the point?
Yeah, that was the talk, yeah, cause we had done that before and that was, there was some question of whether or not it was used, cause once you're kinda locked in there, you're locked in there, so once you're parked, like, we're not towing anybody, but it's, we stop the roads and we're moving people in and out with shuttles, so, working with the police chief and the fire chief to, come up with and MWRA to come up with the best plan for that, but yes, we have to get parking stickers for the Point Shirley residents, that's was one of the topics of discussion.
Okay. Thank you.
Vice President Swope.
Tony, did you follow, aside from writing the letter about the cool corridors grant, did you follow up anymore?
I've called, I haven't followed up with an additional letter, that letter came from the council, I certainly can send the council, a letter from my office to that, Secretary Tepper's office, with regard to the cooling corridors, but I did call.
I would suggest you do that,
Sure.
since indeed the group that gave us that possibility has said that they have nothing to do with 3A, they don't even know why we were turned down on that. So you might wanna follow up on some more of those grants, because I'm not sure that all of them fall under 3A.
Well, that one specifically was in the, you saw the letter, they referenced 3A in the letter, yeah.
No, they did, but it's turned around, so you
Okay,
might wanna
that's
look at it.
Sure, I mean, when we did apply, as you saw it further down in the grant application, there was a $75,000 application that went into that same program for this year.
I'm just not sure that what we're getting, unless we get as you said, unless we get a formal letter that says you are not eligible. And anytime you get a formal letter like that, I'm sure Cipolletta would love to see that because of what he's already
got it in his file.
put it, is on our, on
What
what.
we wanna show honor, yeah, so that's why we have it, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I wanna be clear that, the 2.5 million is, some of it's real dollars, but some of it's potential, right? It's not, no guarantee you're gonna get all of it, I wanna be clear about that. I mean, that's what we could potentially get, but there's no guarantee we would get it, but not being able to apply for it, there's a 0% chance we're gonna get it, so I mean, that's, that's the downside.
Punishment is, not great.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, I'm sure with Cipolletta's, now.
Yep, no, we're working on
I
it.
think it's great that we have that kind of proof.
Thank you, Town Council President, thank you, Town Manager Marino, for the report. I just want to give a shout out to the TIPS project meeting Saturday morning that I attended. Thought it was greatly attended and the presentation was excellent. Look forward to the remainder of that project being completed, and it was great. And thank you for the other updates on various things in town, and I do look forward to working on the tall ship celebration. Thank you.
I just have more questions about like how specifically the traffic will be like restricted. Is there plans in place yet, or is it still in the discussion?
It's still in the discussion page, yeah, we haven't, they're gonna get me, I asked for a 1-pager so we could get it, start putting it up onto the town manager blog so people would know where the traffic routes are gonna be, where it's gonna be stopped, so they're working on that now, we don't have it back from MWRA yet.
I would like to be involved in the planning of that too. Whenever you have information, if you could just send it my way as precinct 3 counselor.
Sure.
And I also want to ask, you mentioned parking passes, so what's the timeline for those? Because we have to alert the public, we have to make sure they can all get them in time, that we order them if need be.
We're still doing decide if we're gonna do that or do something else, so once we make a final decision on that. And I wanna be clear, I mean, it's your precinct, but, I wanna, read the charter and it's, day-to-day operations is the town manager and planning these events is the town manager and the department head, so I'll certainly,
I'm aware.
I certainly welcome input, but I just don't want you to think that, there's gonna be too much involvement as far as with, other than just giving you information and, you taking it up to your
I just want to be
constituents.
kept in the loop.
Understandable, that's fine, I just wanna,
I understand the
relatively new
culture.
council, we haven't had this conversation a lot yet, so I just wanted to make sure we understood the boundaries, that's all.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Councilor Reed.
I have nothing this time.
Councilor Finn.
Thank you, Town Council President. Town Manager, thank you for all you do, man. You're working hard and it shows. And just one thing about the 250th year celebration, I'd like to talk to you maybe about like a parade or something like that, where local, small businesses can partake, as well as, everyone loves a parade, right? We used to always have them in this town. So, youth sports teams showing up and floats, something like that, something we could talk about.
Nothing's been decided yet, we talked possibly a boat parade and then we talked about a, in-town parade, so certainly, cool, open all sorts of ideas, I'd love to do something great.
Thank you.
Thank you, just a couple of follow-ups, everyone's talking about the grants. It would be good if we could get, I appreciate the list, it'd be good if we could get a list of grants we did get. Because for example, if we got $100 million in grants, $2 million isn't that big of a deal. So can we get?
That's on there as well.
It is.
Yeah, the money like the.
How much grants have we received?
I'd have to total it, I didn't, I'll do is, I was focusing on
Yeah,
the,
it
I
would
have
be
to
good
focus
just to
on
get
the
a
3A ones, but I
comparison
can do the
because-
other one as well.
Yeah.
We can do a summary box at the bottom.
And I'm not sure if this would be or not, but I know Councilor Amato gets questions on this too, just on Euro Beach. summer comes really quick, even though it doesn't seem like it now, but there are going to be 5 or 6 openings there that residents are very concerned about. And there are some areas where they're just, you know, they're putting the berms and they're just planting because they don't know yet where they're gonna go. But there's some that are relatively obvious, but I just wanna make sure, and I don't know if that's a meeting, if that's a discussion.
No, we're gonna have a meeting, and I'll make sure Councilor Romano's involved in that, we wanna make sure, and, you know, everybody else that lives on that, you know, stretch of beach, cause we wanna pick with the residents, you know, where are the 5 spots, where do you want them, and like you said, there's a few that are obvious, but the remainder, we wanna make sure they work for everybody. And then, as I told you, the grass will be obviously moved out, and we'll put the, you know, Steve and his crew are working on some ramps, and then we'll have Moby mats going out, and then we'll make the openings in the fence and things like that.
Can I just add one thing to that? So right now, we only have 400 feet.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say, we're not doing the whole
1,280 of
feet.
those.
Right, so we can't pick 5 out of those.
Right, this summer, really, we're just putting one setback at Bayview, and there's
going down the
coming,
right,
yeah.
the main way.
Yeah.
And then the other 4 will be basically on the remainder of the berm that's gonna be built at a later date.
As long as, you know, there's an understanding and people can expect that.
I just don't want them to think 5 are going on.
No, we're not gonna pick 5 out of 400.
Yeah.
All right. Old business, we did everything except again for the approval of the video recordings, which hopefully we'll be voting on at the next meeting, or discussing and voting on. New business, town council vote to adopt the retirement board's recommendation to increase retirees' COLA from 14,000 to 16,000. That will be referred to finance. Town council, our next scheduled meeting is April 21st. As we've done in the past, we have, the charter dictates 2 public forums a year. The spring one revolves around finance, the fall one revolves around town services. Town hall closes at 7 on Tuesday, so we've always done it where the council meeting will be 6 to 7. It's a good break for the councilors, right? They have a defined time for a council meeting, but then it's the town department heads are required to go when they leave work and come to there. So I am asking for a motion to suspend. No, read the motion.
I also, Council President, we missed something under old business. Town council discusses ordinance amended for
Oh,
use
yes,
variance.
yes, we'll get right back to that, thank you. While I'm looking for this, why don't we go back? Thank you, Councilor Romano. Town council discusses ordinance amendment 17.52.030 use variance. This is something that came up a few years ago. I don't think it was ever voted on. It is something that I would like to, it's under old business because we have discussed it in the past, but we haven't voted on it, and I
I
don't
believe it came up
know-
during the last rules and ordinance, right? Last time we did an ordinance review, didn't it come out of there for a recommendation?
It did.
Yeah.
And it never got voted on.
Right.
But, and, you know, I would like to get opinions from planning board and board of appeals. You know, we're one of very few communities in the state that has a use variance. I don't see the need for it personally, but I would like to, and again, it is old business, we can discuss it, but I still would like to send it to rules and ordinance along with the planning board and board of appeals to get opinions, but I think that's something that I know probably other councilors would like to vote on that in relatively short order, so.
Yeah, it's well, you know the process,
I
right?
know the
It's gotta go to
process.
planning board
It's
for
an
public
ordinance.
hearing, comes
It
back
does.
here, the council votes on it, and then it's a
But I
change,
just don't
yeah.
want it to sit
No,
like
absolutely,
it's
yeah,
been
we can
sitting
roll
for
on
a
it.
couple of years. So if anybody, it is old business, so if anybody wants to talk about it or give their opinion, if not, we're gonna refer it also to rules and ask the planning board and board of.
Do you wanna send a letter to the
Yes.
planning board ZBA asking for their thoughts and input on it, or?
Yes, well, they're gonna have to have a
council.
public hearing
Yeah.
anyway, so, yes. I just don't want this to dawn
No,
on
absolutely, no, I-
lost. Vice President Swope.
Now, I've been going to these meetings and use ordinance is usually the way in which a person asks for a variance. So the last one that came up was, on Highland Avenue. So I think we need to clarify this. Apparently this came up in 2022, so it's not as if it's a new thing. It's an old thing. But it's not only the variances that we probably have to think about, and that's important, but the next one is about special permits. So I'm fascinated about the lack of transparency. If we have an ordinance, then you would think it's going to be followed, but often it isn't. So let's get that clear. Let's tighten this up. Let's figure out what we really want in terms of this town, and make sure that these use ordinances don't go through and then trickle into something even bigger, because it changes the entire way in which a community looks.
Thank you, Council Swope. Anybody else like to talk?
I would just like to
Councilman.
ask, if you do send it to committee, can we take an official vote? Because I was reading Robert's rules, I think this is something we have to vote to send it to a committee. I just wanna make sure we're following the process correctly. So,
We have to vote to send
send something to a committee under Robert's rules.
I don't believe we do, but
I believe we do.
well, I'm not doing that now, I will get an opinion for you, a legal opinion for the next meeting.
Thank you.
And you just write that down, didn't you?
Thank you, Denise.
Thank you. Okay, so going back to town business, new business, there's a motion, the town council suspend Rule 2A of the town council rules and procedures to amend April 24th, 2026, a special town council meeting to begin at 6 p.m. or take any other action relative thereto. So motion by Councilor Dimes. Second by Councilor Millard. Discussion.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's kind of really close to me from school. As I get back, literally like right at 6 o'clock. Is it okay if we amend the motion, start at 6:15 instead? Just in case I drop it. I wanna make, I wanna amend,
I just
amend
want
the motion.
everybody to understand, the meeting will end at 7, so that would just be 15 minutes. I mean, we could, if there's something on, we could do that. Or if you'd like, if there's something on the agenda that you would like for us to hold until you get there, we could do that. And
I
get
haven't
rid
seen
of-
the agenda yet.
Well, I'm saying whatever
Yes,
is
I know.
on the agenda, if there's something that you wouldn't want to be discussed before you got there, this way we could get rid of the minutia or whatever you wanna call it, we can get rid of some stuff before. I just don't wanna cut the meeting so short that we're limiting time to start. But I
That's
will,
fine.
you can either make the amendment or I will let you know, once you get the agenda, just let me know if there's something, hey, this is new business that I wanna just make sure you hold it, we'll hold it.
Okay, yeah, I'll withdraw my amendment.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no, the ayes have it, thank you. Appointments, just two appointments. Motion at the time, I've made a appointment that the town council appoint, the appointment made by town council president of Hannah Belcher to the Firehouse Reuse Committee for a term as long as the committee is in force. And also, town council president has made an appointment of Charles Newman to the Firehouse Reuse Committee for a term as long as the committee is in force. I believe that's 5.
That's 5, yes.
Okay, so that committee is intact now, and we would ask them to start
Okay.
meeting, having discussions, making sure they're all sworn in, and letting the council know when, you know, they're meeting.
Okay, I'll do
Discussion. I had down here MBTA 3A discussion. I was waiting for some correspondence from Councilor Cipolletta that I was just gonna read into the record as to where we are, but I have not received it.
So it's right now, I mean, I did speak with him and we are still waiting for the AG, we haven't heard anything yet on our behalf of the letter.
Alright, well,
Well-
just keep
well,
that on
seeing
the
that-
discussion also. You can
Yeah.
discuss something else if you want.
I wanna make a motion related to joining Attorney Vander's exemption case. I have interjecting in it. Would I be allowed to do that right now?
I don't think you can make a motion if it's not in the agenda, but we
It
can
is.
absolutely.
I think,
Well,
well,
the
it
motion-
says 3A.
No, 3A is on the agenda, there's not
Yes,
an
so I can make a
agenda
motion
item.
relating to that.
You can't make, well, you can
I
make a
believe I
motion,
can.
you can't make a motion that hasn't been in the packet, unless you get approval from the council.
Not under Robert's rules. I can
I'm
still,
telling you the rule, Council Romano, whatever you choose to do, if you wanna make a motion,
I
ask
wanna
for
make a motion,
permission
I have
from
it
the
in front of me.
council. And if you're opening up a new motion, are you trying to,
You don't have to submit a motion beforehand under Robert's rules to have it on.
I'm telling you, you have to, okay?
I disagree, I appeal your
That's
decision.
fine, you can disagree, Council Romano, and respect my opinion, and by the next meeting, I will have an answer for you. As of now, that's the way it's being done.
I appeal your decision, under
That's
Robert's
great.
rules, I have the right to do that.
It's not being appealed right now. If
I-
you wanna
yes,
make
you
it,
cannot stop my appeal under Robert's rules, unless it's an objective fact.
we're moving on.
I appeal the chair's decision.
That's great, we're moving on.
Do I have a
Council
second?
Romano. We're moving, you're not running the meeting,
I
Council
appeal your
Romano,
decision, Council
and
President.
I am saying
I
you're
have
out
the
of
right
order.
to do that under Robert's rules, I can appeal that something's not out of order.
Okay, I'm saying you're out of order right now, we are
And I
moving
appeal
on.
the chair's decision, do I have a second?
I second that.
Okay.
There is no,
I second
Under
that.
Robert's
the
rules,
meeting-
you're allowed to,
This
you're
is it.
breaking the law.
that's great, at the next meeting, I will say I was wrong.
Okay, and I
As
accept
of
an
right
apology.
now,
You're breaking the law.
okay,
Under Robert's rules, I am allowed to make a motion,
thank you,
and if the council president says I'm out of order, I'm allowed to appeal his decision.
excellent. We'll take care of
Can,
this
the
at
motion has
next
been
meeting.
seconded, can we vote on it?
No, we are not voting on
A
anything.
motion, an illegal motion has been made and seconded. Let us vote. The council, let the council decide it, the Robert's rules, the central tenet of Robert's
I
rules
am not
is the
saying
decisions
you're
and the
wrong
assembly.
until I know for sure I am not doing it. If I am wrong, I will say I was wrong.
I don't wanna
Please, you've been on the council for a month. Please, let's move on.
A motion's been made, I don't wanna drop this, it's been
You're out of
seconded.
order.
I appeal, we
Moving
appealed
on.
your decision, it's been
Keep
seconded.
talking.
You have
Moving
no
on.
authority to do this, council president.
Public comment.
No authority to do this,
Public
let the record show,
Thank you.
council
Public
president's breaking the law.
comment. Okay, moving on. Public relation, annual rabies clinic, April 11th, 2026 at the Town Landing, Harbor Masters Building, 10 to 12. Town Council Spring Forum on Budget, April 21st, 2026, Shapiro Auditorium. We're at the auditorium, right? Not at the senior center?
Right, we're at the high school.
Right, at 7 o'clock. We are not going into executive session. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by Councilor Dimes, second by
Second.
Councilor.
Can we take a roll call to adjourn?
Millar? No. Any discussion? All those in
Under
favor
the
say
council,
aye.
under the town council rules procedures, any request to take a roll call must be fulfilled, that's in town council rules procedures. I'm requesting
Okay,
a roll
that's
call.
great. Roll call, please.
Council Costigan,
No.
Council Tassinari,
Yes.
Council Milan,
Yes.
Council Dimes,
Yes.
Council Romano.
No,
Council Reardon,
No.
Council Finn,
You tell him how to vote,
I didn't,
Councilor
I
Romano?
did not, I didn't say
You
anything.
you just told him how to vote.
I just grunted.
Oh, you.
I went,
This is incredible.
I was not, that was not.
You told
Right,
him
let's
no.
retake the vote.
No, it's already been
Alright,
done.
it's already-
You have what? Let's finish the roll call, please.
Vice President Swope.
No.
President Lettieri.
Yes, okay. We'll
Meeting's
just
not
adjourn.
adjourned. Okay,
Meeting's not
I would
adjourned.
like to make a motion.
There is no motion, the meeting's not accepting any motions, except to adjourn.
I appeal your decision,
Thank you.
which I'm allowed to under Robert's rules. Would you take an appeal, or are you breaking that rule too?
I'm gonna break that rule too, if that's what you think I'm doing.
Is there a time limit here?
He can break the rules as long as he wants.
There's no time limit?
There's no time.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules and elect a pro tem chair in accordance to
You're not
Robert's Rules, section
recognized.
62-10.
Second.
My
You're not
motion has been
recognized.
seconded.
You're
May
not
we have a vote?
recognized, you're not in charge of the
I
meeting.
appeal the chair's decision. You're out of order. You're the one who's acting out of order.
Oh.
He is. He won't let me
I'm
appeal
the
the chair's
chair.
decision. The chair has to follow Robert's rules. I know town council's procedures.
You are not the admiral of Robert's rules. You do not make the rules. You could keep reading them,
I
you
would
could
like to
test, you could
interpret
do
them.
whatever you'd like. And I told you I would get an interpretation.
I have the right,
I mean,
at the meeting, the town council has the right to interpret the rules. We do. It's up to the assembly. That's the basis of Robert's rules. Interpretation of the rules is an assembly, not some mystical person you're gonna talk to.
Ayatollah.
You're not recognized. You're out of order. If you'd like to leave, the next time you speak up, Jack, I'm gonna ask you to leave.
Next time I say
You're
Ayatollah,
out of order. Please leave the meeting.
I'll leave.
Town manager, please call the police.
Thank you.
Technically, the clerk is town. The clerk and the town attorney.
I'm not sure.
That's who it would be. Yeah, it would be the clerk or the town attorney. It would be the council clerk, that's who,
That's why.
but we don't have the council clerk. We have the council clerk is also the town clerk.
You're right, you're absolutely right.
That's the way it should be. I mean, so I would say Ciboletta would be the best resource for that.
That's not one suggestion. You know, we would.
I don't know, pizza king.
Awesome.
Good.
Hey Siri, turn power off.
You did that.
It's all gone.
Your wife.
No, me. Well, me, I do the crust. I can't go crust. My mother does all the layer, and my father does the cheeks.
How long did it take you?
It's gonna cook for like, it's gonna cook for like an hour and a half. But like from building it up, it's not that, it's only 30, 35, 40 minutes, yeah. On a good year, where they don't cooperate, this was a good year.
Maybe.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
But you can only have it once a year. Oh, so you'll be dead. Yeah.
That's not the.
At the end of that week.
I'll do your blood work. No, no.
Like an official pro attorney.
That's what I had for dinner tonight. Yep. Oh, really? No, there's no, yeah, we send it, like my aunts, we send it to my aunts and uncles and cousins, that's it. We don't pay.
I haven't had a piece in a long time.
Zoom key. Pizza-ina.
I think you spelled it. Yena. Yena.
Pizza.
How do you spell Yena?
Pizza.
Is it cheap?
No. Key.
Oh, Yena.
The translation is full. Can is full.
Oh.
It's a filled pie.
Phil.
Filled pizza.
Oh, see, they never told me that.
It's 'cause I was
Thank you, officer. Can you escort Mr. Dowd out of the meeting, please?
That's your wish.
Mr. Dowd.
I appreciate it.
Just wanna know why I'm being asked to leave, excuse me, sir. Chief,
Mr. Dowd.
I just wanna know why I'm being
He's
told
asking you
leave.
to leave. Please leave.
Well, I just wanna tell Mr. Lettieri that he's violating my rights under the Constitution,
Okay.
freedom of speech.
Not the place and time.
It's
think
exactly the place and time, that's
He's
the
asking you
funny
to leave.
thing.
If you don't leave, you'll be subject to arrest. Come on, let's go.
Like on my arm.
I'm not on your arm, I'm just
hearing
holding
it.
your arm.
Yeah, you are on my arm.
I'm
You just
holding
said
your
it.
arm, yes.
Yeah, so he's violating my first constitutional right, freedom of speech.
Come on, let's go.
I don't have to push me.
I'm not pushing you.
Yes, you are,
Mr.
you're
Dowd.
pushing me.
I'm just holding you.
You're violating my freedom
Come
of
on,
speech.
no, I'm not. Come on.
Yeah, you are.
Mr. Dowd, come on, let's go.
The exact place and time.
So that's like it's that.
Council President, who are you waiting on a ruling from?
I'm not waiting on a ruling. I said at the next meeting I will have a ruling. I said it specifically.
Why are we, our council's meeting now, we want a ruling now. Are you making a ruling? Cause we can appeal that under Robert's rules.
Repeating what you keep saying doesn't change anything. I am waiting for, I could be wrong, you could be wrong. There's ample evidence that says either one. When that happens, at the next council meeting, I will make that, I will tell you the determination that was provided to me by legal counsel. I'm not doing it at 9 o'clock tonight. Since you've already called the special meeting for tomorrow night, I should probably have that answer for you tomorrow.
Well, I would like to make this motion now, so in case
We're
someone
not
uses their
making the
council
motion.
privilege.
You could keep
we can
saying
keep
it, it's not going to change anything, so.
Defying the majority of the council. It's very clear showing the fact that council won't adjourn. Robert's rules is about the power of the assembly, not a single chair breaking the rules. It's never happened before, for a reason.
A lot of things have never happened in the 22 years we've been here since you've been on the council.
Disagree with that.
to present the business during the meeting. Need to have unanimous vote.
And it's game once it's over. You need to make a motion for that paperwork.
And you're supposed to have a unanimous vote in order to allow that motion to go forward. That's what it says. Rule 2C. That's not what it says. That's not what it says in the council rules. The council rules supersede Robert's rules, where there's a rule in the council rules. So I'm saying, in order to make a motion that's not specifically on the agenda, that hasn't been shared in writing, you need a unanimous vote.
Thanks, it's fun. It's been almost a year. It's been almost a year.
You know, listening to people who get bad legal advice. Do we have to pay SIP overtime to get down?
Council President, seeing that we're not doing anything right now, how about motion into executive session to talk about what we were supposed to today as per the agenda?
No.
I wanna make that motion. It's on the agenda.
Jesus. No, you're not recognized.
I'd like to appeal the chair's decision. Am I allowed to do that under Robert's rules?
You're not recognized. I already discussed executive session. I'm not going into executive session this evening. We could only go into executive session for the specific purpose, and we have no information to report on it.
What was that purpose?
Litigation, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation of the chair, if this chair, of which the chair so declares would have a detrimental discussion in open session.
Okay, thank you.
It's okay.
Mr. President, can I make a motion for a 10-minute recess, please?
I would second that.
Yes, that's fine. Second by Councilor Romano, any discussion? All those in favor, can we amend it to a 5-minute recess?
I like 10 minutes.
I make an amendment for, does somebody make an amendment for 5 minutes? Amendment by Councilor Dimes, somebody second the amendment.
Second.
Second by Councilor, I don't even remember your name anymore. Any discussion? All right, vote on the amendment to 5 minutes.
Can we do a roll call, please?
Yes.
Counselor Costigan,
5 minutes, yes.
Counselor Tassinari,
Nope.
Counselor Milan,
Yes.
Counselor Dimes,
Yes.
Counselor Romano,
Nope.
Counselor Reardon,
Yes.
Counselor Finn,
Yes.
Vice President Swope,
Yes.
President Lettieri.
Yes. Motion's passed as amended, is there, motion?
That was just to replace the amendment.
I understand. Councilor Romano, I've been doing this
You
for
just said
22
motion
years.
passed as amended, not
As
amendment was
amended.
passed to the
Oh
motion.
my goodness.
I wanna make sure we're getting the words right.
That's right.
Clarifying question. Thank you, Councilor Tassinari.
Okay, any discussion on the motion as amended? Seeing none. You want a roll call for this, Councilor Romano?
No, thank you.
Okay.
I do, Council President.
Sorry. Roll call, please. Roll call.
Counselor Costigan,
Yes.
Counselor Tassinari,
No.
Counselor Milan,
Yes.
Counselor Dimes, Counselor Reardon, Romano,
No.
Counselor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes, sorry. Counselor Finn,
Yes.
Vice President Swope. Yes. President Lettieri.
Yes, we're in recess till 9:09.
Snuck up on me. 9:09.
Meeting now back in order.
Does it take the chair to do that?
No, go ahead and do it.
Tony, right behind you. Yes.
I'm gonna need a cigarette after this. No, I'm gonna take it out.
I got a nice cigar.
This is a really nice thing that they do.
Council President, would it be appropriate for me to read Rule 2 out of the council's rules and
Yes.
ordinances? Rules and procedures of the Winthrop Town Council. Schedule of meetings and agenda. I'll read B because B plays into this as well. Matters to be placed on the agenda of the town council meeting, including but not limited to any ordinance, order, appointment, or other matters of business to be presented to the members for action at a regular meeting of the town council, shall be submitted to both the council clerk and the council president in paper or electronic format by 1 p.m. on Thursday, preceding the regular meeting at which such matter is to be considered. All matters requiring a vote shall be submitted in full in the form of a motion. Every effort shall be made to have all matters that shall be submitted for placement on the agenda accompanied by material sufficient to inform the council members of the nature and purpose of the agenda item. The council president or the council clerk shall submit the agenda in paper or electronic format, complete with all motions and attachments to the town clerk no later than 4 p.m. on Thursday, preceding the regular meeting at which such matter is to be considered. Item C, other than amendments to existing motions, no business shall be considered by the town council unless there is a unanimous vote of the council to waive this rule. I'll point out that the council's rules and procedures
Okay,
supersede
can I
Robert's
respond
rules.
to this?
No, there's nothing to respond, I didn't even
This is about how to get things on the agenda. 3A is on the agenda, I'm making a motion related to that. That falls within town council rules of procedures and that falls within Robert's
I'll
rules.
point out there's no motion on 3A on the agenda.
But even if something under Robert's rules,
No, it
if
doesn't.
something
These-
says discussion, you
Again,
still have to make a
Councilor
motion related to
Romano,
it.
these rules supersede Robert's rules.
I understand, but
So
those
you-
rules
you
are
can
about
make
the
your
agenda,
motion.
but it's on the agenda already, town
You
manager
can make
Marino,
your
with all
motion,
due
but it
respect,
needs-
it's up to the town councilors
If you would
to
let me
interpret the
finish,
rules.
you need to have a unanimous vote of the council to get your motion to pass, that's all I'm saying. You are correct to make the motion, you need a unanimous vote of the council.
No, it's already on the
Yeah,
agenda.
I didn't say no, but the
3A
council.
is already on the agenda.
I'm
I'm
just letting you
not,
know.
I'm not waiving the rules of the agenda, 3A is already on the agenda, I'm allowed to make a motion related
It's,
to that.
there is no motion on 3A on the agenda.
No, but 3A, once a topic is on the agenda, you're allowed to make motions related to that, yes you are.
Not according
The
to
town
the.
council rules of procedures and Robert's rules,
No,
yes
it's
you are.
not, that's not an accurate
You're
statement.
wrong, I disagree.
Okay, well, you can disagree, but that's
I
not,
do.
I can read, and that's not what it says.
You're not the only one who can read town manager
I
Marino.
understand that, but you're not, this is black and white.
I disagree. Clearly, it's not black and white. If the majority of the council is sitting here in silence.
Well, that's political, that's not anything
Oh,
else.
okay, sure. Now it's political.
Of course it is.
Council President, on the Robert's rules, you can declare the meeting adjourned.
I still
As we've
believe
all,
you need a majority vote to adjourn, even if it's unruly.
Not unruly, just if all the agenda items have been, if we have already gone through the whole agenda, we
I
can declare
disagree.
that the meeting is adjourned.
Can you show me that?
Yep.
Under Robert's Rules of Order, when all agenda items are finished, the chair can adjourn the meeting immediately, often without a formal motion, by declaring there being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.
Okay. Under town council rules of procedures, there is something specifically about adjournment, isn't there? And doesn't that trump Robert's rules? I have to pull it up again.
So doesn't rule 2C trump Robert's rules. So
Follow
let's
it.
take a look at that, please, under the council rules.
I don't see anything in the council.
There's nothing in the
With
council.
regard to voting, just as order of business,
Right.
just the order that.
Do you wanna adjourn the meeting through that process, President Lettieri?
Have to do the process. So can I just take a look at your?
not done. He doesn't get a follow motion.
Right here.
I see it too, and believe me, if you want nothing more than to adjourn, but I wanna try to do it correctly. And it does say, under Robert's rules, when all agenda items are finished, the chair can adjourn the meeting immediately without a formal motion by declaring there being no further business, this meeting is adjourned. It does say the next line, if a motion is made, it requires, so if somebody made a motion, which somebody did, it required a second, so now are we under those rules once the motion is made, or can I
Yes.
declare it? And I don't know.
A motion has been made since you tried to adjourn.
I'm not speaking to you,
I
Councilman, I'm
apologize.
speaking to the town manager, so I see that I can declare the meeting over, the business is over, so I don't know if that's, if a motion's been made, or another way to adjourn is making a motion. If somebody makes a motion, then it requires a second, so.
Either that or just, the other option is finish Councilor Romano's motion, and if it's not unanimous, then that motion doesn't carry according to 2C, so.
Well, it wasn't unanimous, but.
No, but
You can't make the motion, you just have to
I
bring it
disagree
up.
that I
Well,
need
there was
to-
the motion in the second about the 3A thing that he wanted to put on. If that doesn't get a unanimous vote, then it doesn't carry, and then the business is over, and then you
He needs to
can.
make a motion, he needs to make a motion
Yeah.
to allow that
To
motion.
allow that motion to take place.
I protest needing to do that, it's already on the agenda.
The motion's not on the agenda though.
3A is, we're allowed to make motions related to that.
New business.
You're allowed to make a motion to add a motion, and that requires a unanimous vote.
This is what.
We've already discussed this.
It's a new, so he can't even
You allow,
make a
we
motion
voted
on
on
it.
it,
MBTA is on the new business.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't even make a motion on it.
you can.
That's actually also correct.
New business. Because we were discussing different. It also
Would
says,
another counselor like to make a motion to consider a new motion? And then if that does not get unanimous request, then I could consider the motion, the meeting, the business of the meeting done and the meeting adjourned. So it doesn't have to be Councilor Romano to make a
Let us
motion.
make the motion at this point. The majority of the council wants to do it, but you're
Councilor Romano,
you're not
stop
following the will of the
acting
majority.
it's just not.
inappropriately. Try to have some respect for the process.
I feel very
I'm trying to
respected.
get the process correct. And you've been proven to be wrong by Rule 2C of the Town Council Rules and Procedures. You could believe that it's wrong, and maybe you would be, and that's the whole point, that's what I said 50 minutes ago, that we will find out. There's ample discussion to say, you could have some merit. Councilor Tessaneri made a point, you could have some merit. We'll wait until the next meeting and we'll get a ruling. However, now, I'm reading Robert's rules, you choose not to make a motion. If somebody else chooses to make a motion, any motion, and if it's not passed unanimously, if it wasn't on the agenda, then I could then consider the meeting, the business of the meeting finished, and I will consider it adjourned.
I don't know if this will be successful.
That section is talking about the agenda, it's not talking about during the actual meeting process itself.
You're not recognized, Councilor Romano.
It's not limited.
That's about
The whole meeting runs on that agenda. It's like the whole,
But the,
like,
3A is on
that's
the
how
agenda.
that's how the whole
Like,
meeting
like,
runs.
There is no discussion, neither
Sorry,
one of
Mr.
you guys
President.
are.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call.
Vice President spoke, speak first.
Different color pen.
Oh, I'm sorry, discussion.
This is not about adjournment.
No, it's gotta be on the motion. Roll call, please.
Council Costigan.
No.
Council Tassaneri.
Yes.
Council Milan.
Yes.
Council Dimes.
Yes.
Council Romano.
No.
Council Reardon.
Nope.
Council Finn.
No.
Is there any respect for anyone's time here?
Vice
With the roll
President
call
Swope.
No.
No. President Lettieri.
Yes.
Wow.
Vice President Stroll.
I make a suggestion, I don't know if this is going to work. We have a meeting tomorrow at 7:30. Can we start that meeting with Councilor Romano's motion. And open that meeting with his motion and a discussion on it and a vote on it. And adjourn this meeting.
No, I mean, it's, anything brought up tomorrow night is new business. It can be voted on potentially, but there hasn't even been a motion in place with it, so it wouldn't be acceptable again. We'll see.
So wait, so we cannot take a vote tomorrow during the special meeting now? That's what you're arguing?
I'm not arguing, I'm
That's what
stating the
you're
truth.
just telling us?
No, it's under rule, read the
It's
rule.
under the rules.
Wow,
under the rules.
okay, this is what's happening now, okay.
No, seriously, it's just under the rules, so. We have to follow the rules.
It's been special meetings before without motions being on it, and motions have been made in special meetings. I know that for a fact.
You
I
can
think
have
my
an
number is
emergency motion,
It's an
if there's an
emergency, right.
emergency motion for a snowstorm or such, and you need relief, if
Always add a motion to an agenda with a unanimous vote.
correct. Correct. And you could do that tomorrow evening also.
already is an agenda for that meeting. You don't need to have the specific motions written out in words to get to vote on something.
You do.
No, you don't.
That's what it says in the two.
Yes,
That's
you
what's
have,
involved.
you have to have a
I'll
motion.
have the meeting on Saturday. I disagree.
Your notary is disagreeing, and you have to respect that somebody else can disagree, I can guarantee you it's gonna be. It doesn't mean you're right because you say it.
So I'm taking bad legal advice, would be my advice.
No. Have somebody settled.
Like, at least find an attorney who's actually won a case once or twice.
I'd like to make a motion.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to take up
Councilor
Joseph,
Dimes.
thank you, Council President, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to take up Joseph Council Romano's motion, please.
I would second that.
That would require unanimous consent. Roll call, discussion.
Let's just get this on.
Discussion. Can,
This is
Councilor
Councilor
Romano,
Romano.
can you let me run the meeting, please? When it's your turn one day, maybe you can run the meeting. Is there any discussion on the motion? Councilor Romano.
Yes, let's just discuss this now. If you don't like the specific motion, you could always use your council privilege, but let's get it on the agenda and then we can adjourn this meeting.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call please. Needs to be unanimous.
Council Costigan,
Yes.
Council Tassinari,
No.
Council Milan,
Nope.
Council Dimes,
Yes.
Council Romano,
Yes.
Council Reardon,
Yes.
Council Finn,
Yes.
Open it back
Vice
up.
President Swope,
Yes.
President Lettieri.
No. Motion fails. The chair saying no further business. This meeting is adjourned.
Excellent.